Before this video starts, I'd like to say cheers to making voiceovers during each daily log. I've got this up on the screen right now because these are the notes that I made on iPhone notes that I want to use to help me go through what I wanted to talk about that I did during the session. Yeah. I'm doing this just to make it easy for me to keep on referring back to those clips and add extra things here and there when I want to, in order to get this out as soon as possible, seeing as it's 8:11 in the evening when I'm making these voiceovers. Now that I've announced that, I want to get on to showing the footage for today's session, and I'll talk about what I've got on the iPhone notes and also some extra notes that I wanted to add here and there related to the session. On that note, let's go. As you can see, I'm here just on the treadmill. I didn't think I'd be able to conveniently record myself here, but I now know I can. This is, I already finished doing my 5-minute walk on the treadmill at 4.5 kilometers an hour. It didn't feel all that fast as it's done in the past when training at the previous gym I used to go to, so I just whacked on 4.5 kilometers an hour almost immediately. Here are my thoughts whilst walking on the treadmill live. Must be done. As I might have said, I now know that I can always do this, so I'll start off the session this way from now on. I don't have to show an awkward angle of me walking on the treadmill. I now know I can use this and just set up the phone like how I've done today. I was thinking of setting up the phone on the water bottle, letting it rest on the water bottle so that I'd be showing myself that way. But yeah, this is a lot more convenient. I think this because I don't have to set my water bottle up on the floor, which people might trip over as I'm walking on the treadmill. Plus, I'm not showing anybody's face with this angle. Yeah. This angle being the one that I was just showing when I was walking on the treadmill. Yeah. I did not stretch to end the session. I did not do my I did not do my stretches because I was thinking, okay, I'll do my stretches on camera. And to be fair, I can. You know what? I'll do them now, so that I actually have stretched after doing this exercise that you're seeing. I've just done my stretches and they're at the end of the video now, and I'd like to say two things. As I was doing my calf stretches at the very start of the final clip, which will be me just in the room doing my stretches, the outside edge of my foot, where my pinky toe joint is, below, on the sole of my foot, on the bottom basically, that felt not painful but uncomfortable. I really need to go to the GP because I feel the pain everywhere in my feet. Not every single minute of the day, but potentially maybe like once every 2 hours, I either feel foot pain and or foot discomfort. This time it was foot discomfort, but even still, it's time I go and get myself checked out. I'm doing this here as it's a part of what I learned in whilst I was doing my practical parts of the level 2 gym instructor course that I've been doing. And that is to mobilize the spine, because it'd be working muscles that are attached to the spine, such as my lower back as I do deadlifts, and I was going to say my chest as well, but I'm not sure that's how the spine works. I don't think the chest and the spine are connected. I might be wrong, but I don't think they are, seeing as the chest is at the front of the body, and it's not like it's my abs or anything like that, for example. But anyway, yeah, as you can see, I'm just stretching in preparation to lift the weights I lift and to do the calisthenics exercises that I do. Speaking of, I'd actually like to talk about that. I think it's about time I move on from the Frogstand and instead pick something else. My eye is set on being able to do the handstand, the headstand, being able to walk in a handstand, like how I saw in school from time to time. I remember one guy in particular doing that. A small guy, but it just looked quite cool, even back then. And I'd like to do handstand push-ups as well. I really would like to. I've seen it on the internet so much, and to be able to do that myself would be a major sign of progress. And then from there, I can slowly but surely work up towards a planche. It's possible. In my mind, I'm saying, hey, who knows? But no, it absolutely is possible on the premise that I keep on doing what I'm doing on a daily basis. It's possible, and I'm on the way to showing that. Heck, it might take 2 years, but I'm on the way to showing that. For the sake of my own fulfillment, enjoyment, and purpose in life, trust me, I'm on the way to showing that. I'm doing this to stretch my abs. I forgot about the fact that I could do passovers on the bench that I'm hiding. Oh, there you go, there it is. Yeah, I could do passovers on the bench there. The weights are right there. The weight plates are right there. It's not like I can't do that. When I want to stretch my abs, I'll do that from now on. That's what one of the personal trainers in the previous gym I went to showed me that I can do as both an exercise for your quote-unquote main part of the session, and also to end the and to end the session. I was going to say to end the quote-unquote main part of the session. But no, this stuff is just as important as the heavy lifting and the calisthenics exercises. Just like how the stretches at the end are just as important as as the lifting weights and the calisthenics exercises. And here's why I think that. I think this because I believe it's extremely important to do these stretches in order to at least reduce the chances of injury, both short term and long term later on down the line. I don't need to cause injury on myself due to not stretching. I'm not doing that. I will take as much care of my body as I know, as I'm aware I can do. I'll try that again. I'll take care of myself as much as I know I can. I don't think I'm saying that coherently, but that's probably the closest I'll come to for now. From here, I'm just going to carry on talking about something else. Anyway, I'm doing this to stretch out my chest, but then I forgot that I could do this one. Yeah. I was doing the ones that I just was talking about now before doing this chest stretch is called upward cable fly, I think, because that's the sort of exercise that you do on the cable machine to train your lower chest. That's something that one of the fitness instructors at the previous gym that I went to taught me how to do that with proper form, and it really did train my lower chest, to be fair. I knew of that exercise before seeing him. This is actually no, never mind. No, it's fine. This is Harrison, by the way, that I'm talking about and that I've mentioned in the past. It's not like he's up to anything or anything like that. It's fine. Yeah. Harrison taught me that exercise, or taught me how to do it properly. And it's actually something that I can do on the cable machine when I want to train chest from now on in the future. I forgot the fact that I need to stretch out my traps in the previous session, that is. So I did it today as a thought just popped into mind that I could actually do those stretches. Also, I need to train traps as well. I'll do that sooner or later, one of these days. I was talking about my foot hurting me. I forgot to mention that's because of the bunions, but they are the smallest that they've ever been, especially on my right foot. However, even though that's the case, just because they're the smallest they've ever been doesn't mean that I shouldn't go and get myself checked out. This is now me doing the horizontal bench press, it's called, according to how it's been described on the machine. This, without any extra weight, is 15 pounds, 6.8 kg. Very easy to lift, not a problem whatsoever. And that's, yeah, that's more than understandable. But what actually was surprising was the fact that I pushed to limits that I might not have ever got to before, difficulty-wise, which is going and lifting 40 kg, even for a few reps at a time. I was doing 12 reps for hypertrophy, as that's what I've based my training around, with not much thought behind it, but just to get used to lifting for quite a few reps per set, really. And also to grow my muscles. To grow my muscles. But just because 12 reps will do it doesn't mean that more reps won't. It doesn't mean that I'd immediately be going to endurance when doing 13 reps and beyond. Yeah. However, I am going to keep on pushing. I'm going to keep on pushing and I will eventually be able to lift a lot more than 40 kg on this horizontal bench press. I've heard from Mike Thurston, I think it is. He made a video about the lifting mistakes that he made when he was in his 20s. And I think there is at least one extremely useful piece of advice in there. That is this. When you lift, focus on feeling the exercise rather than just trying to get the reps. That was one of his pieces of advice, summarized in my own words. This is advice that he gave on a recent video that he made about, as I said, lifting mistakes that he thought he made in his 20s, that I think he's implying that he's no longer doing in his 30s or late 20s. I don't know. I'm not really watching his story. I have my own life. I made a note saying that I want to talk about my thoughts on the lack of reps that I did during the incline bench. That's what I meant at the start of the video with that screenshot of iPhone notes. So I did that because I was feeling hungry and the battery was low, and I wanted to get everything done, but I couldn't because the battery was just that low. 3% when I was filming the calisthenics clips. Hence, the calisthenics clips, I was going to say the calisthenics clips and beyond, but no, it wasn't. Just the calisthenics clips and beyond in the gym were extremely brief. No, in fact, when I was in the gym, the calisthenics exercises were the last thing I did because, as I said earlier on in the video, I wanted to stretch off camera because the phone battery was going to die, and so that there was actually a permanent record of the stretches that I did to end the session. I've just remembered something that I was talking about earlier, which was the calf stretches at the end of the session that I did just a while ago, less than 20 minutes ago, I'd say. And it was about how my right foot felt whilst I was doing the calf stretches that you'll see near the end of the video, which I'll timestamp so it's easy to find. It felt like I was stepping on my bone rather than on flesh. That's how it felt. I wanted to make a note of that. And it could be my feet, my bones inside my feet readjusting because of the bunions. Maybe not, I don't know. Maybe it's reversing. Maybe my bunions are reversing. They do look, especially on the right foot, they do look smaller. So maybe that's happening. But I'm going to carry on wearing the same shoes. It seems like it's helping. And eventually I'm going to go to the GP, as I've said. So I mentioned the lack of reps during the incline bench, and I'm not going to talk about that again, but I am going to talk about the incline bench again because I've remembered something that I saw today. After doing the incline bench, I remember there's some muscular guys in the gym, really muscular and built, and I saw two of them train together. One of them was doing 30 kg, 30 on the incline bench, and he's obviously built. If I want to get my physique wise, if I want to keep on pushing, then I obviously have to get to that level and beyond. If I want to put on muscle, it's clearly worked. I mean, I was lifting 15, he was lifting 30. And in my head, I'm thinking of saying, look at me and look at him. That means 30 kilograms, by the way. So when I put 2 and 0, when I put the 2 up with my right hand, which you'd see on the left, and the 0, which you'd see on the right of the screen, that would mean 20 kg, for example. And if it were 1 and 0, then that means 10 kg, and so on. But yeah, eventually, you're going to see me lift 40 kg. Wow, that was a challenge. Speaking of challenges, I was basically je suis finito. That's how the French say it. Completely grammatically correct. Je suis finito. Je suis absolutely finito after doing the deadlifts, like 20 kg extra. Oh my gosh, it was... Yeah, you can obviously see I'm pushing myself here. The deadlifts though, wow. It was so hard to get out of the place that it was put. It was placed into one of these holders, which you have to pull the deadlifting bar that I got sideways. I'd have to pull it out sideways, and it's not like the thing's light. That was quite the challenge, and I didn't even I did not bother to put it back because it was that challenging. Going back to the 30 kilogram incline bench though, in order for me to get to this sort of level, I must come to the gym full and hydrated so that I can really focus on not only really feeling the exercises in my muscles when I actually lift, but also so that I can so that I'm more likely to get new PBs on a regular basis, maybe once every 2 weeks to once every 2 months. Yeah. A few seconds ago, I was tapping my triceps and my shoulders. I was tapping my triceps to show that I felt it in my triceps, but I tapped my shoulders to say, even though the bench press actually does train your front shoulder heads, your anterior deltoids, they're called, I didn't feel it there when I was doing this movement. I now know that it trains the front shoulder head from doing practical stuff at the level 2 gym instructor course that I've been doing. Yeah. Cheers to becoming more educated. The other thing that I wanted to make a note about was the fact that, as I've said, I think it's time to move on to do different exercises, but I'm going to talk about the Frogstand in particular. I was able to do the Frogstand for longer after really just focusing on my gaze and just allowing myself to really pay attention to looking, and that seemed to help. I don't quite know how, but maybe it's because me doing that means that I'm paying more attention to balancing somehow. I'm not looking anywhere in particular, I'm just looking where it's comfortable for me to look. Not down, not up, but just literally just straight, focusing my gaze rather than trying to look to the left, to the right, or forwards or backwards. Yeah, that might seem like that doesn't make any sense to someone who doesn't know how to do the Frogstand, but if you're nearly there, or you know how to do it already and have had quite a lot of experience of doing the Frogstand in anywhere in between those 2 points that I've just mentioned, I think you might know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Here goes the time that I'm doing the 40 kg horizontal bench press, excluding the 15 pounds / 6.8 kg of the machine itself. you will see that I was finding this to be an absolute challenge. And when I was actually taking the weights from where I got them from, near the bench press, I had to actually make myself lean back and or twist the weight / hold the weight in a certain way in order to actually carry it comfortably, because it at the moment is feeling that heavy. That won't be the case for much longer though, as I get stronger and as I do things like my 30 kg incline bench press and maybe even 40 kg incline bench press in the future. Maybe an 100 kg horizontal bench press, which is what I'm doing now. That's the exercise I'm doing now, but I'm not doing an extra 100 kg on the... I haven't added an extra 100 kg, I've only got an extra 40. Yeah. I'll let my face, the faces I'm pulling, do the talking for how challenging I found that. And I'll move on to other things that I wanted to talk about. It was actually a bit blurry for me to see the end of the room. It's a massive place. I mean the end of the gym, sorry. But if you don't use it, you lose it. It being long distance vision in this case. I'm going out my way to use my long distance vision, for sure. And I've got some papers there of Snellen charts to help me at least preserve my eyesight, my long distance eyesight. Yeah, I'm not going down without a fight in that regard. And if anything, eye surgery. If I were to do that though, I would really think it through, because that's not something that I take lightly. I'll probably think that through over half a year, because once I do that, there's no going back. And I'd also be risking the fact that once I do that surgery, or once I get that surgery done, I potentially would have to keep on going. I would potentially have to keep on going back for the rest of my life and keep on being a returning customer in order to have my eyesight. I would not take that lightly. Yeah, it's just that the reason why I'd have that over wanting to wear glasses is because I don't want to depend on glasses or contacts to be able to see. I really enjoy 20/20 vision. I really enjoy 20/20 vision. I enjoyed it as a teenager, and I enjoy being able to see very clearly. For example, being able to see reg plates from clearly from far. My nearsighted vision is clear as day. It couldn't get any clearer, really. Seeing as I'm laying down on my bed, or my sister's bed actually, I probably could see these. It could be a bit clearer, but when I'm on the phone or on the laptop, clear as day. But then again, as I said, I absolutely am not going down with a fight, or going down without a fight. I am going to keep on using my long distance vision regularly. Even though, here comes the incline bench, by the way. Even though I did fewer reps, I started off on a much heavier weight, and I can use this as my starting weight. And then from there, I'll grow. Yeah, that way I'd be giving myself a chance to lift 30 kg on the incline bench and 40 kg on the incline bench. Yeah, 40 kg is the maximum weight that they have there. In the previous gym I went to, the max weight was 35. And I've actually seen people lift that. It's obviously quite the challenge, but even this for me was a challenge, seeing as I'd start on like 10 kg when doing an incline bench. But yeah, I'm now starting on 15s from now on, to actually keep on growing, keep on progressing. Lifting 15s as a warm-up will mean I get stronger for sure. From there, I'll keep on progressing, as I said. 17 and a half, 20, 22 and a half, 25s, 27s, 27 and a half, sorry, and 30s, eventually 32 and a half, 35, 37 and a half, and 40 if they have a 37 and a half pair of dumbbells, which I think they do, but I'm not quite sure. I have got a little something to say about the L6 as well. Surprise, surprise, I was able to hold it for longer. No, not for longer. I was able to extend my legs further because my core strength's improved, because I'm lifting heavier. It actually does make it being training my core through these compound movements like the deadlift, like the bench press, like the horizontal bench press, or exercises like the horizontal bench press as well, make it easier to do calisthenics moves. In the past, I'd just be saying that almost in hopes that that would be the case, but now I have experience of that being the case through being able to hold this L-sit that I held with a lot more ease in terms of how far I could extend my legs compared to in the past. Like in yesterday's session, for example, I'm certainly going to use this as a reason to keep on lifting heavier, because I'm now actually experiencing these lifting sessions helping out with my calisthenics. In the past, it would just be something that I'd say, perhaps in hopes that that would be happening, but I'm now actually experiencing that happening. In my mind, as far as I'm concerned, I now have a very, very, very strong and valid reason to keep on lifting. I was seeing one of the same guy I was talking about when who did the 30 kg bench press, do an incline bench on a cable machine on an incline. I was just rather interested because I hadn't seen that before, and I think that the way how he did it is probably like the incline bench equivalent of using gymnastics rings. I use that comparison because when you use gymnastics rings, your hands would be shaking quite a bit, especially if you haven't been doing it for a while. I already started taking my shoes off before making this clip. That's why my right shoelaces, or the shoelaces on my right foot, were untied up, rather. Yeah, as you can see, I just really enjoyed this. I was in the zone. I really was in the zone training. When I was training, sorry. Going back to my thoughts on lifting heavier being able to help out with the calisthenics. The fact that lifting heavier means I could do the calisthenics exercises more easily means I am allowing myself to become more competent in both weightlifting and calisthenics, which means that I am setting the precedence to become more competent ability-wise in all aspects of my life, from allowing myself to develop my competence to do these calisthenics moves and to lift heavier with proper form when I lift weights. Yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I really don't know, but I'll come up with a plan quickly off camera. Well, after making this voiceover. I'm now seeing as it's 10:15 in the evening as I'm making this voiceover. I'm gonna call it a day with making this video and say a few bits on what I'd like to improve here and there, and then that'll be it. So first of all, I'd like to actually come to the gym full and hydrated. Please insert real name, please. This is gonna be what allows me, or what I do. That means I allow myself to actually push in the gym more than I've done already with little food. I was just fueled by a little bit of water here and there maybe, and wholemeal bread and hummus sandwich. That doesn't, the wholemeal bread that I have at the moment doesn't look all that wholemeal, but it did cost 39p. You get what you pay for. Anyway, yeah, please eat more. Please have more preparation with these sessions. Please wake up early. Please get up early. Please. It's in my best interest to do so, because I'm seeing how much I could push myself with little food, let alone feeling full and hydrated. Imagine how far I could get if I actually just allow myself to sleep early, to get up early, to be properly fueled and hydrated before coming to the gym. I could really get far. I have the mentality to allow myself to get there. I have the mentality and I have the physical ability. I do, my feet are a bit swollen from the bunions, yeah, a little bit, but that's okay. I could push through that. I really have it in me to get far, and that's, as far as I'm concerned, more of enough of a reason to keep on pushing and to keep on reaching my full potential, especially seeing as I now have easier access to these resources compared to in the past when I had the membership at the previous place that I was going to. Another piece of advice that I give myself is to also know what you're training before the end of the day, so that I don't have to think about it late at night, going on to 10 in the evening as I'm making this video. Making the voiceovers for this video, I filmed the clips a lot earlier. But speaking of this, the voiceovers, please get all of this done beforehand. Please. That would be helpful. Just go to the gym early in the morning and then allow myself to just spend quite some time making the voiceover for the video, so that the voiceovers for the video, so that I can just upload it ASAP without leaving it too long, or longer than I'd like I've done today. I'm willing to be patient with myself here because I have been coming to a new gym. First of all, I've been settling in this new gym. I have been wanting to make voiceovers, and I'm now doing that. And I'll be building on this organization of the videos in time, in terms of getting the clips together and getting the voiceovers together. So I'm going to actually, instead of saying, well, I need to make voiceovers earlier, and only saying that, I'm going to say, I'm going to show patience towards myself here, because I've made a start on doing the voiceovers, which is something I actually want to do. Another piece of advice I give is, please come to the gym with full battery, so I don't leave anything behind and I actually train completely. I didn't do that this time because I didn't pay any attention to completely charging my phone before going out. So that's meant I had less battery to track all of this session that I really wanted to do. What I'm saying is I did less because of that. The fact that I came with somewhat low battery, maybe less than 50%, I don't remember. I was on low power mode, to be fair, hence it lasted a very long time. Got about 40 minutes worth of footage in the gym, even though the battery wasn't 100%. Another piece of advice I give myself is, please come to the gym with wrist wraps, so that I can really push myself, especially with the bench press, so that it doesn't hurt my wrists when I lift heavy weights. Speaking of, I'm going to get my wrist wraps out now. I've got my wraps out now, and that was my foot clicking, by the way. And the skipping rope that I can use that in the gym. There's enough space. The boxing wraps that I have, I can use that. There's a punching bag left of this frame. There are two of them actually. There's an old black one and a newer looking black and red one, if I remember correctly. For explanation of what I'm doing here though, I am trying to find, or I was trying to find, weights that weighed the same and was the same length, because some of them weighed 10 kg for example, but then it was one of the plates were longer than the other. Yeah, so I do need to be careful with that. There was also a 5 kg that was too loose around the center, because its center part is missing. Its plastic center part is missing, so I had to get rid of that because that wasn't safe to use during this deadlift. I say that because I wouldn't have been able to secure the weight properly, because the inner part of the weight plate, the 5 kg weight plate, was missing. Here's me grunting and groaning to the max as I was pushing myself. stupid. If you heard that with your eyes closed, it probably sounded like I was fucking. After, what's going on now is me just basically collapsing with my hands, with my hands in my face, just on the plyometric things, I think they're called, the plyometric boxes, the ones that you jump on, the boxes you jump on. I was just stood up, just basically collapsed on that. I fell to the floor when I was training, doing these deadlifts in the set before that, I think. I was just there off frame. Not purposefully off frame, but off frame. Really feeling it. Because I was pushing myself a lot. I'd like to get to a level where I'm making these gym videos early. I'm doing the gym videos. I'm making the videos and doing the voiceovers very early in the morning. And I'd also like to start, after doing it for long enough, start recording exactly what I did in the description outside of saying what I did in the topics, so that there are timestamps for what I did and when I did it. I want to actually start having an easy a journal in the description saying I did this set, this amount of sets, this amount of reps for these exercises. I did these exercises because X, Y, and Z, I mean. And I did X amount of sets, X amount of reps in reality because of the X, Y, and Z. So that it's easier to track when looking back, it being what I actually did during the session. I would have to go out of my way to make that fairly short and sweet, because if I don't, the descriptions might actually be too long. Unless I don't mind making a couple of videos here and there, specifically just for the descriptions, like how I did on day 299 a couple of days ago, yeah. But anyway, I think I've said enough for now, because I need to get this video out. It's probably way past 10 o'clock, and I'm looking to export this before the day is over. Oh, never mind, it's only 10:02, but even still, I want to get this video out before the day is over, and in order to do that, I'm gonna stop talking here. I will still make the timestamps for all of the clips and that, so I'm still going to be making the video easy to follow, but the voiceover, I'm going to end the voiceover here. I've got my notes for how I want to improve, and I'll follow them over time, even if I don't remember to follow them from day to day, because I haven't made a timestamp for when I made how I want to improve. Oh, for the talk, when I was talking about how I want to improve. Sorry, that wasn't the most coherent, but yeah, that, yeah. I started gripping the bar in a certain way, putting the edge of my thumbs just where the edge of the rough part of that bar was, so that I was gripping the bar in the same place on both hands. I've just been watching some shorts that a video creator who goes under the name Abnormal Beings, the alias, that's not his government name. He was doing a 40 kg incline bench in this video that I'm going to show now, on the premise that those weren't fake weights. But I mean, look at him, he's a unit. I don't think so. They could be, but that's not even the point, man. The point is, I want to do that for real. I saw it, and I purposefully waited to see that 40 kg after the second or third time, and then I wrote that note saying, yes, please, because that's the direction I aim to head in. For the sake of increasing my competence, and also showing to myself that I can do whatever the fuck I want to do, on the premise that I put the time in. I'm on the way to getting there. It's not even I will get there. That is true, but I'm purposefully not saying that because I don't want to make it seem like I'm pushing that task off in my mind. So instead, I'm going to say what I said earlier. I'm on the way to getting there, onto lifting that 40 kg incline bench like it's absolutely nothing. Like it's nothing. There's no way I won't get stronger and become more muscular and more competent by lifting those weights. There's no way I won't. No way I won't be able to be stronger after lifting 40 kg for 20 reps easy compared to 15 kg for maybe 10 or slightly more. 12, which I was doing sets of 12, so I might have done 12 reps on the incline bench, but you get the point, man. I'll get there, and I'll make sure of it. I'll get to that point where I can lift 40, because I want to show to myself that I can do what I want to do. On the premise I put the time in, I absolutely can. It's possible. The weights are there. I'm not injured. It's possible. Yeah, the bunions are there, but I can go GP appointment and I can keep on wearing the same shoes I'm wearing to further correct them. I genuinely think that's happening, as the bunions on my right foot have been the smallest they've ever been. Likewise my left as well, but on my left foot they were never really there to begin with. I said I was only going to do the voiceovers for like a couple of minutes just to get it done so I could show this early, but I did not think that I'd have done it for this long. I was doing this to stretch my forearms. I don't really know any other way that I could stretch my forearms without tensing it like how I am now, because I don't have the bars that my dad's got in the shed. I could not be bothered to go get them. I wasn't actually thinking of that at the time. I was doing this exercise and the other one that I'm about to do to stretch off the side of my shoulders and also the front head of my shoulders. I'm doing the front head of my shoulders now in particular. It's a certain dumbbell exercises, diagonal raises. I don't know if that's the proper term for that motion that you do with the dumbbell, but yeah, that's what I was doing. I was doing this to stretch off my traps, but I forgot that I could do shrugs as well, including these exercises that I'm doing. I do the extra ones that I'm doing now because I noticed I wasn't taking my time with this stretch. I just wanted to get it over and done with so I could get this video over and done with. But stretching, you can't rush stretching as far as I'm concerned. That could actually increase the likelihood that I injure myself. So I decided to go back and do it again. Or to do it properly, I mean. I was finding it really painful in my upper back / spine area when I was doing the abdominal crunches without pillows or without a pillow. For future reference, if I am going to stretch at home, please put a pillow completely flat out behind my back so that I can do the stretches without any pain. I was trying to do it without pain here, but I just couldn't do it without a pillow behind my back, so please do. Behind my pillow, behind my back and coccyx even, sorry. Yeah, you can see that's when it really hurt because of the computer cable. But anyway, this is me done. You're going to see me stretch for around about or less than 40 seconds longer. This is me done. I'm signing out. I've had a lot of fun making this video, and let's see what I get up to tomorrow. Cheers to making more voiceovers, man, and doing these videos in a more organized way. Peace. Cheers to making progress, man. Progress, man. Always. To celebrate the fact that I've done another session and that I'm enjoying my time, we clap, and that's it, done. Here goes. That's it. Cheers, man. Cheers to another session, and cheers to doing many more sessions down. Sessions in the future in the long run, until the end of my days, regardless of how I do it. Peace.